Did you know that just under 800,000 Jamaicans call Britain home? This number includes those born in Jamaica and those of Jamaican descent. And yet many feel they belong neither here nor there. They carry two flags in their hearts, one Jamaican, one British, but often struggle to find their place in either. Why does this dual identity matter, and how does it shape their lives? Let's explore a fascinating study that uncovers the untold stories of Jamaicans in Britain. Meet Sandra, a midwife who has lived in London for 37 years. She says, "I am Jamaican first and British second. I have two flags in my heart." This powerful sentiment reflects a deeper truth about diasporic citizenship, a concept explored in an eye-opening 2023 study by Dr. Ika Yeshiva Smith, published in Oasis. Dr. Smith, a lecturer at the University of the West Indies, investigates how Jamaicans in Britain navigate belonging, identity, and citizenship in two vastly different worlds. What she reveals is both shocking and inspiring. For Jamaicans in Britain, the journey isn't just about migration, it's about survival. They have faced racism, exclusion, and the devastating betrayal of the Windrush Scandal. Many feel like outsiders, even after years of contributing to Britain's society. Yet, they have turned to their Jamaican roots for strength, forming tight-knit communities and diaspora organizations. They are not just surviving, they are thriving in their own way, rewriting what it means to belong. The struggle to belong. Jamaicans in Britain often face what feels like an impossible task, finding a place to belong in a country that views them as other. Despite holding British citizenship, many report being treated as outsiders. Racism isn't just a word in their vocabulary, it's a daily reality. From being overlooked for jobs to enduring racial profiling by police, discrimination is woven into the fabric of their lives. Take David, for example, a naturalized citizen in Leeds. He says, "The British passport cost me a lot, but it doesn't stop the police from stopping me for no reason. I don't feel British. Jamaica will always be home." This feeling of being a second-class citizen is echoed across generations. The infamous Windrush Scandal, where hundreds of Caribbean migrants, many of whom had lived and worked in Britain for decades, were wrongly detained or deported, deepened this sense of betrayal. Jenny, a teacher in London, describes it bluntly. "We helped rebuild this country after the war, and this is how they repay us." It's hard not to feel bitter, but instead of retreating into bitterness, many Jamaicans channel their pain into pride. They create safe spaces through Jamaican culture, celebrating holidays, sharing traditional foods, and leaning on community groups. Social media plays a key role, allowing them to stay connected with Jamaica and other Jamaicans worldwide. This cultural resilience transforms their struggle into a testament to their strength. The power of diasporic citizenship. Diasporic citizenship is more than just a fancy academic term. It's a lifeline for Jamaicans in Britain. It allows them to claim rights and identity in both Jamaica and Britain, even when they are marginalized in the latter. Dr. Smith's research highlights how many Jamaicans leverage their dual citizenship to fight for justice. For example, Gillian, a cafe worker in Leeds, not only votes in Jamaican elections, but also protests in Britain for reparations and fair treatment of Windrush victims. Her story illustrates how diasporic citizenship empowers individuals to participate politically in two nations. This dual engagement is a powerful tool for advocacy. Jamaicans in Britain are vocal about issues like deportations, systemic racism, and reparations for slavery. Through diaspora associations, they amplify their voices, lobbying British and Jamaican governments alike. These organizations don't just offer support, they become vehicles for change. For example, advocacy groups have pressured British authorities to acknowledge and compensate victims of the Windrush Scandal. Yet, the concept of diasporic citizenship also raises critical questions. Does holding rights in two nations dilute one's identity in either? Or does it enrich it? Dr. Smith argues for the latter, showing how Jamaicans have transformed their dual loyalties into a unique strength. They claim space in Britain while maintaining their cultural roots in Jamaica, proving that belonging isn't confined to one flag or one land. Why citizenship feels hollow. For many Jamaicans in Britain, acquiring citizenship is less about belonging and more about survival. British passports are seen as tools to access jobs, healthcare, and global mobility, not as symbols of identity. This pragmatic view is summed up by Roy, an entertainer. "I don't need the passport to feel British. I need it to live better." Yet, even with a passport, many find themselves excluded. Racism, xenophobia, and stereotypes make it clear that legal status doesn't guarantee social acceptance. Shani, a dietitian, shares how her job applications are often rejected, not because of her qualifications, but because of her skin color. This systemic bias leaves many Jamaicans feeling like second-class citizens, trapped in a society that benefits from their contributions but denies them equal respect. The Jamaican passport, however, holds emotional weight. It's a badge of pride, a reminder of where they come from. For many, it represents not just a connection to Jamaica, but an obligation to contribute to its growth. Diasporic citizenship enables them to maintain ties to their homeland through voting, remittances, and cultural preservation. Dr. Smith's research reveals a striking paradox. While British citizenship offers material benefits, it often lacks the emotional and cultural depth of Jamaican identity. This dichotomy forces Jamaicans in Britain to navigate two worlds, balancing practical needs with the longing for a sense of belonging. Contributions to both nations. Jamaicans in Britain are unsung heroes of both nations. Remittances from the diaspora make up over 20% of Jamaica's GDP. Beyond money, they wield soft power, lobbying for Jamaican interests in Britain and championing causes like reparations. Dr. Smith emphasizes that the diaspora's potential is vast yet underutilized. Imagine what could happen if this power were fully harnessed for Jamaica's development. Identity crisis and belonging. Identity for Jamaicans in Britain is complex. Many live between two worlds. As Werner, a chef, puts it, "In Jamaica, they see me as English. In Britain, I'm just Jamaican." Despite the confusion, this dual identity gives them strength. They take pride in their Jamaican values, resilience, family, and community, which help them thrive in a society that often excludes them. The solution isn't to choose one flag over the other. It's to redefine what citizenship and belonging mean in today's world. Dr. Smith argues for a broader concept of citizenship that acknowledges people with multiple loyalties. This isn't just about Jamaicans in Britain. It's about embracing diversity and creating systems that work for everyone. The stories of Jamaicans in Britain teach us about resilience, identity, and the power of community. They have turned marginalization into motivation, building bridges between the two nations. But their journey is far from over. It's time for both Britain and Jamaica to recognize the value of this diaspora, not just for what they give, but for who they are. We invite you to subscribe to this Impacting Jamaica channel for more content and watch other videos here.